Hey, yo, this is SamAnt, and oh, God, make sure you go check out our podcast, the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast, on radio.com. You've seen us on YouTube, over 800,000 subscribers strong. Now, if you want to listen to your brothers raw, real, uncut, and most importantly in full, go check us out on radio.com, where we bring you the latest news on all things hip-hop, sports, relationships, politics, you name it, we cover it. The most dangerous podcast out to date, the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. Check us out 4 days a week on the radio.com app. Let's go. I start seeing things like that sponsored by the NFL, knowing Jay-Z's behind that.
Yeah.
Until that, if it's just a halftime show with fist and stuff, I'm going to continue to disagree.
Yeah, man. But, to kind of continue, this topic, Funkmaster Flex out the bomb earlier today, which kind of leads in to this. He said this, I'll put it up on the screen. He said, I just got off the phone with Jermaine Dupri. He confirmed that when he was working with the NFL last year, he did get a call from Jay-Z asking him, how deep are you in with the NFL? Expressing that might not be such a good idea. I mean, Jay-Z said that to Jermaine Dupri, that he shouldn't actually work, whatever deal he had going with the NFL. But then a year later, Jay-Z announces that he's going to be working with the NFL for the halftime show in his social injustice campaigns. And now the new announcement is that he will have significant ownership in the NFL team. Your thoughts on that?
Man, it's another thing I don't like. This is shady as hell.
Hell yeah.
Now, we ain't heard this from Jermaine Dupri yet, even though Funkmaster Flex, who we've given criticism to, but make no mistake, one of the greatest DJs of all time. Got nothing but respect for Funkmaster Flex. Didn't just agree with him with that situation. I don't think that he's lying. I think that he spoke to Jermaine Dupri in this situation. I just want to hear that come out of his mouth. But yeah, I believe it. You look at where the Super Bowl was last year, Atlanta. Jermaine Dupri wanting to have pretty much ownership over that halftime show and really giving the people of Atlanta a great show, an Atlanta-based show with the OGs in Atlanta, and who better to do it than a Jermaine Dupri. And who did we hear front line disagreeing with everything black that had to do with the halftime show because of the treatment that Colin Kaepernick was going through?
Jay-Z. He had the jersey on and everything.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And everyone was behind him. So now it just seems like, and that's not oh God, this was in February of 2019. We're only in August.
Yeah.
This is a couple months ago. It seemed like everybody forgot about that. And that's very, very troubling to me. It's weird how he could just do it. Everyone can follow. Everyone can forget. Jermaine Dupri, I would love to hear you say something. It seems like Funkmaster Flex doesn't really agree with what's going on with Jay-Z necessarily either. So, I don't know.
Put you on the spot, Sam, man. Do you think Jay-Z sold out? But before you answer that, because we put a few videos up, and people seem to think that we backtracking off of Jay-Z, because I think they kind of think that we said that he sold out, even though we were just asking a question.
Yeah.
With the video.
Yeah.
Do you think that he sold out simply because you just said that just, a few months ago, he was riding hard, telling people not to deal with the NFL because the way they treated Colin Kaepernick? What are your thoughts now?
I'm going to answer this directly, but let me start by saying this. Jay-Z's a billionaire.
Did he sell out?
Sell out to who?
Did he sell the people out? Oh, go ahead.
Did he sell the people out for the NFL? No, I don't think that he sold the people out. Did he do Jermaine Dupri dirty? Hell yeah. That was a dirty move, no matter how you look at it. You can't go and tell somebody and go public with it, don't do a deal because of X, Y, and Z. And then months later, you slide in and do the deal and totally negate X, Y, and Z. That's just saying cool. Do I think that he sold out by doing this with the NFL? No. Because Jay-Z's been who Jay-Z's been for the last 2 decades, 3 decades, and that's never going to change. He's a businessman. He's a capitalist. Some people have morale when it comes to being a businessman and being a capitalist. Some people will do whatever they have to do to go get their bread. Jay-Z has shown you he will do whatever he has to do to go get his bread. Jay-Z's allegiance isn't to black people as a whole. Jay-Z's allegiance in his mind is to his wife and his children and his circle.
Right.
So as a businessman, you got to get out your feelings and go, oh, wow, that's my favorite rapper. Oh, wow, no, he sold us up. Now, fuck that. Listen, he's a businessman. He did what he did and was right for his business. And you got to understand it, too. He shouldn't have sold out to who?
I want to continue this conversation. I want to, 2 more segments. I want to talk about Diddy. We ain't talked about this, but you can remember last year, Diddy was talking about buying, a team. And then pretty much he came out and said, look, I'm not, interested because of the way they're treating black players. Now, the thing I could say, and I want to hear your opinion on this, the difference between Jay-Z and Diddy in this situation. They both, you know, got a lot of money. They both influential, and obviously Diddy had enough money to buy it. But it seems like Diddy was pro Kaepernick. He was with Kaepernick 100%. He said, "I'm gonna bring Kaepernick back if I get the Panthers." Jay-Z almost simply had to disassociate himself, kind of, from Kaepernick, saying, "Look, I can't get him here. I'm not his boss and whatnot. And you never was about this and that." And you know, so what do you think about that dynamic? Diddy pretty much with Colin Kaepernick, Jay-Z disassociating himself from Colin Kaepernick to try to get into the NFL. Did that say something to you?
It doesn't, because I don't necessarily agree with Diddy's premise on the fact that he thinks that because of the treatment of Colin Kaepernick, he can't be in the league. No, because of the treatment of Colin Kaepernick, you have to be in the league. I think Jay-Z and someone like that, we were waiting for. When is a billionaire going to put his name in a hat, a black billionaire, somebody to go own an NFL team? We applaud that. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's unfortunate we had to hear that right off the heels of this new social justice halftime show, him sitting hand in hand with Roger Goodell, and everything kind of going, whoa, this is very hypocritical to what you were saying just months ago and what you fought against. And now you're in here almost going against the grain, completely against that. Oh yeah, now you're going to own an NFL team. It's like, damn, Jay-Z, what you have to do to go ahead and get your name in that hat? Did you have to disassociate? Did you have to do this? And that's what the feeling I know from the real people that I talk to, the people that still support and want to see this work, just aren't drawing lines in the sand. That's their question.
Right.
Why go that route? Is that what you had to do in order to own? Now, my thing, my question to Diddy would be, and this is what I would love to hear him say if this were the truth.
Right.
Nah, they were trying to have me do some shady shit to even get involved in that.
Let me read what he said.
Okay.
He said, I was at one of the last 2 bids for the Panthers. He said during the interview with Big Boy TV, I really wanted to go in there and be a part of the NFL and try to be a positive change. He says, I don't even want to own an NFL team no more. I don't want to be associated with no oppression black men. I don't want to be associated with telling grown men what they can and cannot do. Now, Diddy also went on to address the Star Spangled Banner, which was the controversy. He said, if players do kneel, they'll be subjected to fines. The new rule, you know what I mean, that the NFL, you know what I mean, put in place, you know, as a result of Colin Kaepernick, you know, not doing it. So pretty much Diddy is just pretty much saying he didn't even want to, you know, get involved, period, because he's seen that they're continuing to oppress black men. Now, I'm going to ask you, Sam, man, do you think that the NFL is oppressing black men?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that they're oppressing black men, because I finally understand, and I'm starting to see that black men understand they have all the power in their hands, not the opposite. It's happening with the NBA, now starting to happen with the NFL. We see what's going on with Ezekiel Elliott. We see what's going on with my man Trent Williams out in DC. A number of other players. If you don't pay me what I'm worth, I ain't getting on your field. I ain't putting on your jersey. I'm not playing for your fucking team. I don't care your fantasy. I don't care about your fans, nothing. I am the show. Pay me like it. I love it. And I think that once the athletes begins to start doing that, they take the power out of the owner's hands. Now, this could be a great relationship. Yes, the owner owns the team. The owner does not own you. It's hard to think like that, because I can even remember back in my job, and I could go and get a paycheck, and right above my name, real bright and bold, with that company's name reminding me, I gave you this, I could take this away from you. So in a certain level, they do own you, but you just have to understand the game that you walk into. Look, you played your whole life and risked a lot of life, limb, and years on your life to do this, to feed your family. Play the business the right way and take as much ownership as you can. They don't own you unless you allow them to.
And I think what's sad about this situation here, because you asked me the other day, it was like, do you think the NFL is obligated, you know what I mean, to do anything? And I pretty much said no, but I kind of want to change my answer, you know, a little bit, because I think that, and what's a shame here is that more players didn't, you know, step up beside Kaepernick, you know what I mean? Because I think if they did, they would have actually stepped up and tried to address it. For one, I think that even if one, you know, who is black and they're in your league, because you got to remember the NFL primarily is getting these people, even though they get them from the colleges, they're getting people from these inner cities that are affected by all this stuff that's going on, police brutality, and their families and everything like that. So if even one player in your organization has a problem with that, I think that the company should respond favorably and say, okay, this is how we feel about it. But the NFL, they did respond pretty much. And they said, look, nigga, you out the league, You keep doing it. Now we got a new policy that says if people do it, now you can be fined. So the NFL pretty much drew the line in the sand and said, look, we don't give a damn about people being killed by the police. We don't care how this country's running, man. This is a private business. That's what they said with the statement and how they're treating Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed, period.
You see a conversation going around in the mainstream sports outlets and things like that in regards to Colin Kaepernick stating that, in fact, he isn't blackballed. He had numerous opportunities and he basically shit on those opportunities. He had an opportunity in Baltimore. He had conversations saying that he wouldn't stop kneeling. They thought he'd be a distraction. No, excuse me. His girlfriend put something up with Ray Lewis and the owner of the Ravens in comparison to Samuel L. Jackson, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Django, basically calling Ray Lewis a coon. They didn't like that, so they got him out of there. His girlfriend, so they got him out of there. He had something out in Miami where they asked him, will he continue to kneel? He said, yeah. They got him out of there. Then they, Denver, same situation. Look, man, you could play, but we can't do this. So they're telling him, they're giving him ultimatum.
Right.
Who just brought the brother in to try out? Eagles. They just brought in McCown, I think I seen.
And he was I ain't gonna say he's a bum, but he's 40 years old. He was coaching a high school team.
He was retired.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they brought him in before they even thought about Kaepernick. I'm sure they didn't ask him if he was going. They knew. You know what I mean? Good old boy, perfect.